Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a little time since I'm still at home. Supposed to be at a vacation house at the beach, but my daughter is sick. She had a fever last night, and she's been sick the last few days, but she was at like 102.5 or 102.1, something like that this morning. So, we're monitoring that, and we're just going day by day before we head down to the beach. So anyway, excuse me, I had time. I unboxed this guy when I made my kind of community video, and I figured why not take it apart and do my first impression. So I did get this today. I've had it for a few hours. I've actually taken it apart like 4 times because I was trying different bearings, and I ended up going back to the stock ones, so I won't even bother showing you guys all the bearing swaps. The Delrins will fit in here, the 1/4-inch Delrins, but they're basically the same as what's in here, you'll see. And Gillian's fit, but they just didn't feel right. I think they're just a little too thick for the tolerance on this guy. So yeah, what do I think about this knife? Well, I'm impressed. So I originally got it because somebody on Instagram showed me theirs. I believe it was, I think his name's Justin. I can't remember if it's Justin or if I mixed that up before. It's something like EDC Gear Geek or something like that on Instagram. I'm so sorry, dude. I don't have your IG tag right here, and we talk occasionally, right? And then we get into a chat, and then I don't talk to him for months, and then so it's kind of hard to remember. So anyway, thank you for pointing me in this direction. This does come with carbon fiber or micarta inlays. They seem to be glued in, and you'll see that when we get internally, or when we take it apart. It's titanium, and it's 14C 28N. It's a CM Design. You can check them out on Instagram at CM Designs, which is cool. I haven't had a knife from that designer. I haven't really had many TwoSuns since I really got into knives last year. I kind of did the TwoSun thing for a little while where I was like, wow, man, you can get titanium and M390 and all that for like $100. I mean, I was getting shit in M390 and titanium for like $45 on eBay, and I was like, blown away. So, I bought a few, and then you wait forever to get them. And they were always just right hand only. They never have a lefty clip option. And I don't know, I just kind of got over it, sort of, and I gave them all away. It was easy to kind of include those in giveaways and stuff. Basically, that was before the channel. I would send stuff to other channels to give away. But anyway, that's kind of my experience with TwoSun. And then I saw this, and it just kind of piqued my interest again. And I found out they were on Amazon. So I found it on Amazon for $90. So basically $100 shipped, I think it was, for this. That's a fantastic price. 14C 28N is a very good steel, especially if done right. And I think TwoSun has proven that. They put a fantastic edge on this guy. Let's get some paper. There's a shipping label that went wrong. I don't think you can see anything on there, right? No. Oh yeah, very good edge on this. It does have the choil issue right here, where if you start your cut too early, right, now you're getting stuck on that. So you just got to be careful. The easiest way to avoid that is to use it. So if you use the choil, you're not going to have that issue, right? So the blade is spectacular on this guy. Feels pretty thin. I wouldn't say it's like, the sliciest knife ever, but it's certainly very well done. I will say that. It's a cool Warncliffe blade. It's very small, to be honest. Overall, the knife is pretty small. I don't really have any comparison knives. All my stuff is packed up. I have my knife case waiting by the front door in case we leave for vacation. This is the Field Duty EDC from Liang Ma. I believe it's a 3.5-inch blade with 3.25-inch cutting edge. I also have a Vero Fulcrum. Maybe that'll be a good one. I think that's about 5 inches. I always thought it'd be cool if there was like a ruler on here on this side. But there's that comparison. Do I have anything that makes sense for you guys? I have this wood knife. I don't know how big that is. Yeah, that's really all I have, guys. Sorry, I don't have a great comparison knife sitting here or anything, so that'll have to do. But yeah, it's a pretty small knife. You can see if I'm in this back grip, I just fit all fingers. I kind of put this guy back here on that flat. I really like when companies do that because then you can utilize that with your pinky. Actually, you know what? It's more comfortable to just get in there. But more than likely, I'm always going to do this and ride up onto that. Man, it's so comfortable. It looks kind of thick, right? And it is. It's definitely thick. You can feel that. You feel it a little bit in pocket as well, but it's not bad or anything. But this, man, it just feels so good. I'm so locked in. There's no jimping on this thing that I can see. Is there any jimping anywhere? No jimping, guys. Really nice micro milling right here. I love that pivot design. The carbon fiber looks nice as long as that glue holds up. I had an issue with that on that Megaron knife. It just fell out. The clip is well done. And yeah, so I really like it. The biggest thing I like about it is the detent and the action. It is definitely dialed to where I can do the pressure test. So pressure, bang, flies out, right? So middle finger flick is great. You can even ring finger flick it. I love when a fuller is that long, or a hole is that long. I can pinky flick this bitch. Can I do an index flick? I can do an index flick. Then I can hit up the thumb flick. I mean, there's just a lot of options, right? Titanium liner lock, which is really dope. When we see the inside, it's pretty impressive. It's just unique. Lock up, what do you call that? 100%, I guess. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I think there's a good amount of pressure on that lock bar, which is causing it to have that nice detent, but it's not gonna drop shut. So you'll see there, if I push the lock bar out of the way, I'm learning some things about knives lately. If I get the lock bar out of the way, it drops, right? So that tells me the action is actually really good. It's just that there's good lock bar pressure on it for that detent, so it's not gonna drop shut from there down, if that makes sense. So if you get past that detent, there's pressure from that lock bar against the blade, which causes it to not just guillotine shut. That's something I've recently learned. I kind of knew that, but I wasn't really putting it into context. So there's a lot of knives where I try swapping bearings, and I'm like take the Trevor Burger, for example, the front flipper I have. I try swapping bearings, like all these different kinds of bearings, and nothing makes it better. Some make it a little bit better than others, but not much of a difference, and that's because it's not the bearings. It's the lock bar. Because if you push that lock bar out of the way, what happens? That blade just drops shut. So it has to be something else. So anyway, I'm learning. But I also don't have my bougie drivers, so I'm just going to rock the Weeha here. This knife is very simple to take apart. It's a little, I don't know if you want to call it complex to put back together. It just has some pins and stuff. I'll show you. I am using one of the OCD for EDC O-rings in here instead of Loctite. Seems to be doing pretty well. I may end up Loctiting it anyway. I think I might just prefer Loctite, but I don't know. Sorry about that. My wife walked in. So my daughter went down to sleep. I gave her some Tylenol and this nighttime homeopathic shit. Hopefully she'll sleep well tonight. I was up most of the night last night trying to keep her comfortable and back to sleep. So anyway, I took the pivot screw and the clip screw out, and the knife literally just falls apart. So what I wanted to point out was be careful if you take this apart, because there's stuff that just falls out everywhere. This pin is down for the backspacer. I'll show you that. This barrel goes through and the clip mounts on the other side. I'll show you that. You have a stop pin, of course. Gotta make sure I keep those together. You have another pin down here. So there's just a lot of pins, right? Just gotta be careful. Are these the same is the question. Yeah, see, it's smart if you use the same pins, because then it's harder to screw up. This guy's a little thinner, so I can tell. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. Check this out. The liner is like straight down the center, and then the clip obviously helps hold it in. But I don't understand how it's not coming out. It's like it's somehow pinned in by that, which is kind of cool. See there, I just kind of pushed it a little bit and it went in more. So I'm sure I could wiggle it out or something. I don't really want to mess with it though. But yeah, that's it. That's your liner. I'm 90% sure it's titanium just because it's TwoSun. But I've never seen a design like this. Now, I've seen, I guess that's not true, because the F5.5, the Avant, they're both kind of like that. At least the F5.5, the clip screws are what hold the liner lock in, which is really cool. So I guess I have seen that, but it just seems kind of cool. You can see how thick these scales are. You know, there's your inlay, which is carbon fiber, and it has to be glued on, I'm guessing. See, this thing wants to come out. Maybe I can get it out. I don't know how I would really go about it, though, is the thing. I'd have to get something in there and wedge it. I don't want to mess with it. Okay, sorry. And here's your other scale. Very plain. No milling, but it's fine with me. I didn't notice some huge weight issue. Yeah, so let's clean it up. I did have Gunny Glide in here because that was what I had, because I packed up on my KPL for the trip, which is so dumb. Why do I have multiple? I have 2 bottles of heavy and original that I'm bringing. One in my backpack kind of kit, and then one in my knife case. Like, I don't need that much, but whatever. Love me some KPL, guys. Fuck the drama. I don't want to, you know, not worried about it. Let's see. Clean this up because I want to get all that Gunny Glide off of there. The action did not very much improve from that, so hoping. All right, hold on, Kev. This goes. What the hell am I doing? That's the pivot side, right? This is the pivot. Okay, got it. Yep. Okay. Sorry. It's got to be down like this. So now comes the fun part, right? Putting all these pins back in. So you got one here, I think. Nope, one here. Right? And then you got this little guy up here. And then you got this guy up here. And then this guy goes through like this. And then this guy can pop on top of all of these. Bang, right? Now we can get the KPL out. You can see these are my old bottles, but go check out the link down below. Not the link, the code Lefty10 at knifepivotlube.com will get you 10% off. And then I get, I think it's like 15% or 5% maybe commission. And then any of that money I use towards giveaway knives and stuff. I actually have some cool stuff coming to give away. You know, that I'll actually give away. Sorry. Couldn't help it. Alright. Bada bink, bada boom, bada bink. These are the stock bearings. That's what I was saying. They're basically Teflon or plastic or polymer caged ceramic bearings. So it's basically what a Delrin is, right? Because a Delrin is Delrin plastic with the bearings in it. So, and according to some people, it doesn't matter what the cage is because the bearings are the only thing touching stuff. I don't know. Got my coconut LaCroix because I'm bougie. All right, Kev, shut up. Let's get on the road here. I did want to show you something cool I found. The way TwoSun does their washers is cool. Now I feel like I'm coming down with whatever she had. Inevitable, right? Check these out. They have these bearing tracks in it, which is pretty damn cool. And I guess that's another reason you use the stock bearings, because what if, you know, what if the bearings you have aren't the same? I don't know what this is all over the blade there. Don't think I did that. That might be the gunny glide. Still stick it on there. I know it's supposed to be like pretty preventative of dirt and shit, so maybe it had something to do with that. I don't know. All right, now we can pop this bitch on. It was pretty simple to get back together. You just gotta pop it on the right spot here. Pop the pins in. Make sure you move the lock bar over, because if you start closing this up before you do that, it might get stuck over there. So just be careful. And there we go. Oh shit. All right. I got this. Yep. Bang. Done. All right. So put this on. Get the pivot going. Again, I have that O-ring on there, so that'll help. And then we got this right here. Goes through the clip into the barrel. Tighten that down, and then we just gotta get our pivot right. I should have mentioned it was dead nut centered. Uh-oh, I feel weird. Ah, okay. No play. Shake shut. Yeah, it's pretty much how it was. Sorry, I'm trying to get something to dry my hands off. A little bit of isopropyl. All right. So yeah, I just don't think this knife is ever gonna get to a drop shut or even like a smooth shake shut. I think it's just always gonna be, you know, slightest of play there. It's always gonna be a shaker, I think. So it's best to probably just do this, you know, or give it a good one and shake it down. But I don't really mind that. Obviously, I want all my knives to drop shut. But so I'm going to make sure this pivot is tight, because it's not going to drop shut anyway. So might as well just let it be tight and strong and whatever in there, right? We'll see how that O-ring holds up. I have one in my Evo 2.0 right now, actually. I installed the skiffs, and then I put one on there, and it's working really well. So fingers crossed it works with TwoSun as well. It obviously depends on the pivot. Centering does look pretty off, doesn't it? Well, if I look at it from that angle, it looks dead nuts. But if I look at it from here, it kind of looks off to the clip side a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it does look like it's over there a little bit, but I don't know. Centering's kind of a tricky bitch, right? I always think that it has to be dead center down the middle here, the tip. But would it be more important that everything is centered around this area? You know what I mean? So it's kind of a weird gambly type thing on this. It looks like it's dead nuts. It's just my eyes, I think. And maybe the lock bar doing something, but it feels really good. No play. Drops. Few shakes. So yeah, I really like this knife. It's the TwoSun TS319 carbon fiber is this model right here. I am a fan. So this may get me to pick up a few more TwoSuns when I see something I like. I've always liked their build quality and everything. I mean, for the price, it is incredible. I mean, they really are one of the top, I'd say, in China. when it comes to builds. Like, they're definitely up there with like best tech, right? I don't know if they're at like Riot level, but they're really good. And it's weird that they don't get more credit, and part of that is their marketing. They don't do any, you know, and I don't think they do OEM work. I'm not 100% sure on that. I've never heard of a TwoSun made knife that wasn't branded TwoSun. They do a lot of collaborations, obviously. But yeah, this has kind of opened my eyes a little bit. So I appreciate everybody who told me to check this out. EDC Gear Geek, thank you for the heads up. And go check it out on Amazon and pick yourself up one if you like it. The TwoSun TS319 carbon fiber. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I love you all, and I will catch you later.